I mean, it's just part of our lives. It's what keeps us balanced. Oh my goodness, I love this place. I just laughed, but I'm like, okay, I had him for most of the day today, and I'm like, all right, we're going to racing. We've got to do it, and we make it work by. I'm like, all right, let's go. We chatted with some of the people here who have all become like his aunts and uncles. And the love and support there is amazing. And then just went back to the meditation room, and I knocked a workout out in, and he just did his thing, laid and relaxed there, and people just they're like, okay, they're doing their thing. But I love this place because it embraces everyone for exactly who they are. So that's why we come.
Good.
I'm Craig. I'm here for motivation and support.
I'm Brandon. I'm here because this is where I learned to enjoy sobriety and to support Jim.
I'm Taylor. I'm here to be a better person every day and support my brother.
I'm Justin. I'm here to support, learn, and stay sober.
I'm Kevin. I'm here to become a better person.
I'm Adam. I'm here because I love what this place is all about.
I'm Emma. I'm here because this place taught me how to learn myself, or love myself.
I'm Amy. I'm here for the inspiration and to learn.
Yeah, I'm Dave. I'm here to support my son, Steve.
I'm Steve. I'm here to stay sober.
I'm Jacob. I'm here for support.
I'm David. I'm here to get and stay healthy.
I'm Tyler, and I'm here because I hear they have very good food here.
Yeah, Tyler for that awesome beer, right?
Me and Lauren.
Kevin, I'm here for positive change.
Justin here to learn how to live again.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm here because I value my life today.
My name is Michael. I'm here to be successful.
I'm Haley, and I'm here to support my son Tanner and to find the best ways to do that.
And my name is Tim, and I'm here to support my son Tanner. I see the positive impact that this has had on him since he's been coming, so we love coming.
Awesome.
I'm Tanner, and I just love coming here. Every week I come here, my life keeps getting better, so.
How's it feel to have your parents sitting next to you?
Pretty good.
Good.
I'm Ryan. I'm here to learn how to stop hurting myself and others.
Yeah, man.
I'm Chris. I'm here to change my life and learn how to stay sober.
I'm Jeff. I'm here to stay happy and sober.
I'm Devin. I'm here because this program is changing my life.
I'm Brittany, and I'm here because it's the first place that I had ever come for treatment, and I was always ever scared to do something to better my life, and I was afraid to love myself. I'm not anymore, and on Monday I'll have 1 year.
Yeah. Good, I'm on you. Yes.
My name's Tom. I come here to continue to learn.
I'm Mike. I'm here to continue to set and achieve positive goals and a lifestyle of sobriety.
I'm Christy, and I'm here to continue learning how to love myself and become the person I was meant to be.
I'm Larry. I'm here because I want to be, and I get to see everybody that I don't get to see every day. Tyler, you heard right, and today was awesome for me because I got greeted by Xander today when I walked into the dining hall, I guess you'd call it. It's pretty cool, yeah.
He's our greeter.
He's our official greeter now, right?
My name's Kelly, and I come here because I've met probably the most amazing people in my life here, and it's a habit.
I'm Randall. I've come to this place just because this place I enjoy what they do here. So.
I'm Des. I am here for growth and motivation.
I'm Shelby. I'm here for positivity.
I'm Zach, and I'm here to get the most out of life.
Levi, and I'm here because I take a lot of pride in what we do here, and I'm here to keep improving myself as well.
I'm Dominic. I'm here to stay sober another day.
I'm Sam. I'm here for support.
I'm Yvonne. I'm here to support my husband Eddie.
My name's Eddie, and my life is transformed.
Dude, oh my God.
So I smiled when you said that.
Good to see you, man. Oh, wait. Dude, seriously. How are you? Oh, man. Holy smokes. You remember him? Kelly? That's old school church stuff there, way back. Wow, good to see you. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm Wesley. I'm here because I'm sick and I need to get my medicine, and I want to learn how to be the best Michigan man I can be. And I want to learn how to stick and stay.
Right on.
And I'm having a good day today, so why not, top it off with the music.
Right.
My name is Elena, and I'm here to continue learning how to heal from my trauma.
Excuse you. Hold up. My bad, Charmaine.
I'm here because of God's grace and mercy, and also I found out some disturbing news, and I didn't want to be alone, so.
That's good. I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm sorry. Matt, go ahead.
I'm Matt. I'm just here to continue on the right path to a better life.
I'm Steve. I'm here to find and maintain balance, and most of all, because compared to a lot of other stuff out there,
I'm Steve as well. I'm here to listen and stay healthy.
Awesome.
Mike, come here.
You did? Oh my God.
Got more.
What's wrong with you? Go ahead.
John, I'm here for support of my wife and to learn something new today from all you good people.
Do we need a drug test you, Tom?
I think so. What am I doing?
Hi, I'm Tracy, and to get more involved.
Awesome.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, do you want to go again? You good? Okay. I'm Todd. I am sober. I will take a UA if I need to, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm here because I simply am thankful that so many people have chosen this program of ours to help a lot of people. I'm just glad to be a part of it. Who has The Answer by Donald D. Carr?
I do. The Answer by Donald D. Carr. Running from the misery, trying to escape the pain, as I approach the light of hope that lies before me. Each step overwhelms me, every breath sears my throat. I ache, my body rebels against me, my memories torment me. Agony has become my closest companion. My demons mock me as I dangle helplessly above the abyss of alcohol and drug abuse. The voices all sound the same, criticizing, accusing, blaming me for what has happened. They don't understand, they don't care who I am. I'm a human being full of thoughts and feelings. I'm worth saving, just show me the way. At last I reach the light of promise. There stands the answer. Open arms, understanding smiles, looks of trust. And so begins Racing for Recovery.
Okay, let's do this for a couple of things that I heard when people were introducing themselves. What would you say to a new member, whether it's a person who's battling addiction or self-destructive behaviors or their family? So if you've been around a while and somebody new is coming in, what would you say to them? And then also, too, when Amy said, I'm here to stop hating myself, boy, that hit hard. So within that, we can do why we hate ourselves and what we're learning at Racing for Recovery that's helping us to maybe not hate ourselves as much. That hopefully turns into that you actually love yourself. So, two things. What would you say to a new person coming in here? And with the topic of stopping to hate yourself, why do you hate yourself? Can we help with any of that? And are you learning anything here that's helping you like yourself a little bit?
I would say to someone coming in new, basically to trust the process, to listen to people who've been there and have done this, and to do everything that's suggested and utilize everything that is offered, whether it is the gym or classes offered or the books and so forth, and have a lot of patience because it'll happen.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks for this. That was really cool. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot more nerve-wracking, but and I wanted to say too, I had two really cool gifts today. Got to see my son. I brought him here and just spent some time with him. He's 7 months and super, super cute. And And then seeing Ben today was just like, that was a gift, man, for sure. Seeing you here today, it's awesome. Thank you, Mike. And then as far as like what I would say, I picture like myself coming in here and kind of being nervous, not really knowing many people, and just to give yourself a chance and to jump in, like just get into it, and just have some faith and some hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I know I didn't have much hope, when I first came in, and even being clean, there's been some moments where like I was losing hope, and I had to find out why that was and re-engage and get back into what was working for me. So, there's a lot that goes into the hating myself and having self-esteem issues. I never even really realized that I had self-esteem issues for a long time. It wasn't until I came here and some guys started asking me some questions and started realizing some things, and the other counselors here have been incredibly helpful in that process. One-on-ones are tremendous for me. Like that's where that's kind of the meat and potatoes of like where I find out some of the inner workings of myself, I guess. So I'm just so happy to like just be here and be clean today and be with you guys. Love you guys. Wow.
Allow yourself to surrender. That was the hardest thing. I had to allow myself to be completely vulnerable. It took me about a month after getting sober to even walk through the doors, so I was just kind of living dry. The first day that I came in, we were doing a book study, and it just happened to be a subject that hit extremely hard. That book was extremely helpful for me, and realizing that, like, I'm not the only one. I'm not alone. There are other people who've gone through the things that I've gone through in different ways, but the pain is still there, the traumas are still there, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and admit to yourself that you can let other people help you, and that taking the advice of someone else, because obviously you're not doing something that's working for you. I had to completely drop that veil and be completely vulnerable. Through the one-on-ones, I was able to kind of examine why I hated myself, and a lot of the reasons why I hated myself was because I blamed myself for my traumas, and I felt that there were things that I did in my life that I deserved punishment for. I didn't, and they weren't my fault. They were things that happened to me, but I'm stronger than that, and I deserve to love myself, and I deserve to let other people love me. I don't hate myself anymore, and I'm much happier for doing those one-on-ones to get down to the real reasons why I blamed myself for the things that weren't my fault.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Hopefully? Okay, that was powerful. Bob, you're on. That was good.
Obviously, I lost my leg, and I don't hate myself, but I started not liking myself, which led to my destructive behavior. I couldn't get over it. I was on that pity pot for 3.5 years, and the only way I could get out was by drinking. I thought my life was over. Couldn't do the things I used to do. I didn't think I'd ever be able to do them again. I just pretty much gave up. And I had 8 years sobriety at one time. Life was real good. Even before that, my life was good, but I thought it was over. And Racing for Recovery has opened my eyes, because when I first got here, I heard somebody say, have an open mind. And immediately I said, well, I'm set in my ways. That's how I took it. But I dwelled on that and realized I need to have an open mind. And at that point, all these other things started happening. And I seen that shirt, you know, where it had actions on it. What the hell does that mean? You know, I mean, you gotta take action. And so I started to, by the things I was hearing here. They have also taught me to love myself again. And realize that, you know, that this disability doesn't mean my life is over. And I don't have to pick up a drug or a drink to forget about it or try and make it feel better, because the next day it's still the same. It's not going to change, so I had to change. And this program has really helped me, but I do have to have an open mind and the willingness to take that chance and ask for help, whatever it may be. And it's not just about sobriety, it's about living life. Things that I'm not sure how to do it, but I'm still moving forward. And this program has helped me for that.
Right on. Yep. As far as hating myself, I did tremendously simply because my life has always been very family oriented. I don't have a large family, but we were tight knit, and seemingly whenever I used or abused drugs or alcohol, I destroyed them. I destroyed my family, I destroyed my possessions, I destroyed everything around me. When I was sober, that I'm the uplifting spirit in the room with my friends and family, and I know I'm good for that. But the things I would do when I was drunk were not me. I would be what was in my mind on an autopilot, say things that I never even thought that I had thought. Hated myself for the things that I did. But I would say to anyone that, for me, when I gave sobriety a shot and I could stick to it, stay true, and keep moving forward, the blessings that are put upon me and the things I see in my day-to-day life are profound. Right down to ambition, willpower, things like that take a huge role in my life now. That, you know, not trying to find ways away from people or to have my own alone time to do things like that have opened up my life, and I'm very grateful for this program and everyone who's here to support everyone else. Wow. Good. All right, Larry, let's see you top that.
I don't think it's possible. I always think I have something profound to say. Then he says the word profound. But I just say make friends. Being here, I learned the difference between like not drinking and being sober. Being sober is a lot more fun than like just abstaining from alcohol. Also, there's a difference between living and living. Because before I just lived. Now I live. There's things to do and meetings and people to meet and people to talk to, and it's awesome. But yeah, man, what you said, that was, you deserve that round of applause.
Emma.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what everybody else was saying. I really liked what Chrissy said. It was, you know, take advantage of the resources that are given to you. And honestly, for me, it was just showing face, like showing up every day, even though I didn't want to. Because for a while, I was here, and I just went to the IOPs and I left. And then I had this big shift. And I started staying a little bit longer and playing pool, and I could notice people were coming up to me, and it's like, hey, it's nice to see you sticking around for just IOP. And then I started showing more face, and then this place became a safe space, or like IOP became a safe space, and then the common area became a safe space. Like I went in the weight room for the first time the other day since I got here in September. I had never even been in that room. It's just showing face and showing up on days even when you don't want to, and just taking advantage. Because it's so much better than the alternative.
Are you swimming with us tomorrow?
I am.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Good. You're good.
But yeah, with that I pass.
Charmin?
So, for the past 29 days, I've been loving myself because I've been showing up and doing what I'm supposed to do. But this is about the third time in the past year that I've had 29 days. And because of my inconsistency, CSB told me that permanent custody is going to my mom. He told me that a couple hours ago. And I hated myself so much at that moment. Because I thought, I don't know, but I knew better. I knew, what the fuck did I think was going to happen? You know, if I was getting high and those drugs was more important than my kids and me and... So, yeah, I hated myself a couple hours ago, but I had to snap out of it because I don't want to hate myself no more. I don't want to go back to that misery. So, I had to love myself enough to get to this meeting.
Yep.
I had to love myself enough to grab that reading.
Yep.
To raise my hand and get this shit off my chest.
Yep.
So all I can do is just keep doing the next right thing.
As far as a newcomer, you know, I would, first of all, I would give him a hug and tell him welcome, and, you know, just get to know him and tell him a little bit about the place, and might tell him a little bit about me and some of my story, and then I would direct him to Todd so he could show him that movie, to give him some inspiration, and maybe learn a little bit about what he's about and what this place is about. As far as hating myself, I'm doing things now that I've never done. I'm trying to do something different, you know, because really, I really don't like me because I constantly destroy myself. You use drugs and you give up everything, you know, me for me. I can't like myself, so I'm trying to learn to love myself and not hate myself. And I'm starting to peel back the layers. I'm just getting into that, you know. It's a great place. They have a lot of stuff to do. And, you know, I'm doing a lot of different things, volunteering, I'm working, lifting weights, which I haven't done in a long time, on a steady basis. I'm trying to watch what I eat, but that ain't always, that's kind of hard. So, but you know, I'm trying to learn myself today, learn how to love myself today. So, and I can honestly say I'm kind of having fun. You know, today was a good day for me. I just feel it today, you know, so I wish every day could be like this, but life gonna show up, you know, so it's not easy. You know, but I know I don't gotta fight no more. I know I do not have to use ever again if I choose that.
That's right.
You know, so that's all I got.
Man, that's good. That's good. Levi.
Yeah, I want to say that, Charmaine, I'm extremely proud of you for saying what you said.
Yep.
It takes a lot of courage.
Yes.
And that's what I would say to anybody that's new in here or just starting out or anything like that. The biggest thing that I did for myself is I addressed the shit as fast as I could that I did not want to talk about. That's what I hated, the things I hated about myself, or the problems I had if I hated myself were inside of myself. And when I was able to get those out, then I was able to start get all those emotions out, those tough things, dealing with the underlying issue, because the issue for me was never the drug. It was never that, and I knew that. And I knew that at my core, that it was something inside of me that hurt extremely bad, and multiple issues. And when I realized that that I had an opportunity to do that, because I would rather live happily and I just had to get the shit out. Like she just said, like that took a lot of courage to do that. I encourage everybody to do that in some form of capacity. It doesn't even have to be in a meeting setting. It could be in any type of way. That's what has helped me tremendously. And I don't hate myself because I gave myself a chance to do that. And everybody has a choice to do that, or a choice to hold it in. You know, it's self destructed me by doing that and not talking about how I felt about any problems that were in my life. And I don't hate myself today because I'm able to express myself. That's what helped me.
This is a pretty good meeting so far, right?
Yeah.
I think so too. I applaud you for what you did right there. That's what Racing for Recovery was started for and is currently and will always be. Just a safe place for anybody to talk. That's not, listen, one of the things this is not is the gossip of, did you hear this? Did you hear this? Did you hear that? If you want to talk about something that you heard, talk about that. I heard somebody display courage by raising their hand and saying that. That's the stuff I want people talking about. Not, did you hear this? This person? No, that's not what Racing for Recovery is about. This program is based so that people can come in here and do that and do what everybody else is talking the way Devin did and just feel okay with doing that. And if there's something you need.
It had nothing to do with this program. This program is great. I was inconsistent because I made the terrible decision. When I worked the program, our program, I mean, everything is impossible. I mean, nothing is impossible but I made an unfortunate decision. So I'm reaping the benefit, the consequences. But I'm going to stay clean. Face it clean.
That's it. Right? Ashley.
Okay, so on the topic of like hating yourself, I am still learning that I cannot just convince myself that I'm deserving of a better life. I have to believe that I'm deserving of a better life. I know that for me, when I first got clean, I completely hated myself. There was no love in sight, and I can say today that I love myself, but there's things about me that I don't necessarily like, and I'm working on them. But I love myself enough to work on them, you know. And I think that just displays you by you saying you love yourself enough to admit your faults, and continue to work forward, and that's really cool, and I want to applaud you for that. But in the past, what my mistake was I would continue to not believe that I deserved better, and I would allow myself to convince myself that my old behaviors are what protected me, and they weren't. My old behaviors are what kept me sick. And it doesn't have to involve drugs. I have things that I do that aren't healthy, to myself. And it's just if I don't believe that I deserve better, I won't stop doing it, I wouldn't say that I'm doing it today or anything, but I know that I notice little things that I do to protect myself, and really there's no, I'm thinking that they're protecting me, but they're really not. It's distancing myself from success, And in order for me to continue to grow is I need to seek opportunity and execute it. I can't, there is no in between for me at this point. And I'm just extremely grateful for the people I have in my life. When I got clean, I kind of lost a lot of my support due to disagreements or whatever about life, but it's I had to learn how to stand on my own 2 feet and know this is the decision that I made for myself, and I want to move forward from this. I refuse to let anything take me back. So whether or not you have a ginormous support system or just a few people in your corner, know that it speaks volumes to just have one person at the end of the day, and even if it's just you, because I don't know, I try not to get emotional, but there's just stuff that I had to learn to be okay with myself when it came to my sobriety. And mostly it has to do with family,
But if it wasn't for me believing that I deserve better, I wouldn't be here today. Because I've had a lot of like daggers thrown my way in the sobriety, and I know that I deserve better, and that's what keeps me going.
I am so proud of you, Ashley. God dang, that's good. Good stuff. Rashawn. You know, brother.
It's a great topic you chose, and I have to get this out. I was inspired by the young lady over there. I've been hating myself so bad these last 3 days that I've been having suicidal thoughts. You know, for those who don't know, I decided to go back out and have a drink with a couple side dishes, and it hurts, man. People and the men and women that's part of this program, but because everyone showed me love on the way back in them doors. It wasn't one negative or one backbiting comment I heard, you know. It was nothing but love and hugs, and I thank this program. I'm truly grateful for this program, and I don't know, another thing you said, what helps me, what got me to loving myself, and that just happened today, you know, was that workout room. I don't know what it is about releasing that, working out. It's something about it's spiritual in nature. It just gave me what I needed to say, okay, I can overcome this. I don't know what it is, but lifting them dumbbells and doing push-ups and pull-ups, it gave me what I needed to build confidence back up in me. You know, yesterday was the hardest thing I ever done was to show back up to IOP that morning. I mean, it took everything in me to show up, you know. I was just so overwhelmed with guilt, shame, and, you know, and all that stuff is, you know, all that is in fear, you know, and my higher power, I just got God, I've been created with no fear, you know. But that was the hardest thing I ever done. And I'm so grateful that I made that decision to love myself enough to walk back in these doors, you know. And with that, I'm gonna keep coming.
Wow. Mike.
Yeah, for the new people, I guess that I would say what kind of worked for me, and I didn't even know it was working, is like 5 things. Relax, listen, absorb, retain, and apply. When you first start in IOP, just listen to everybody talking and hear what they're saying. Don't just like listen to them, but actually like take it in and listen and try to understand what they're saying. And, you know, absorb it, retain it, and then in time, when it feels comfortable, when you start doing it on your own, just apply it to your everyday life. Like, if you start working, you want to start going to school, you want to get ready to do these things, start applying that to each day, even when you're in racing and you're not working or going to school or whatever you want to do. I mean, after the IOP, if you learn something in there, try applying that throughout the day. See how it affects your day. And another thing, if you see 2 people who have been here a while, like say, for instance, Randall and Brittany, if you walk by and they're talking about something and you hear something that strikes you, don't be afraid to just say, hey, excuse me, I'm not interrupting, but I just heard you mention that. Where did you learn that? How did this happen?
That's good.
Can you tell me where you got that? Just ask for help. If you ever hear somebody say something, just don't be afraid to say, wow, that's really neat. I like that.
That's good. That's good. Was it Christine? Christy. Steve? Steve?
Heather.
Heather. Same thing. Right?
Not the same.
How did you hear about us?
A girl that I work with mentioned it because I told her I was going to AA and NA, and she asked if I'd ever heard of it.
What do you think so far?
I think it's really cool.
Good. Good. Zach. Smiley.
Someone new coming in. I would definitely say this place is. I've never been to any other places. My first recovery place, but only heard stories, but I know this place is one of a kind, just from what other people tell me, stories. But yeah, they definitely obviously treat you like a person. You're not just another person trying to get sober, another person on drugs. You're actually a person, someone that they believe in. It's not a facade. I mean, yeah, there's nothing in the Kool-Aid. Another thing I like to say to anybody who's new, don't do what's comfortable, because, I mean, what's comfortable got you to the recovery in the first place. Do what makes you uncomfortable, because if you go back to what you were doing, I mean, you're just going to see the same thing, and it's kind of hard to, like, submit yourself to that idea. It's really hard to give up on your old ways, but, I mean, yeah, make yourself uncomfortable, and you're going to find a great place. I'm glad I found this place.
Glad you found it too, boys. Anybody else? Yep, Heather?
Yeah, I think definitely just like everyone else said, like coming here, it's a lot. It's like overwhelming. I mean, even if you've never been anywhere else, it's just, there's so much and it's good stuff. Definitely just taking it in, like, you know, if you go to the IOP, like you get so much out of it, but I think it's important to understand, like, especially in the beginning, we're going through so many changes, but like, it's amazing how much you get something in one layer and then the next layer and the next layer as you grow. So it's just, I think sticking and staying is so important, because we all go through really rough times. Life just throws us curveballs. What was it? Everybody says, embrace the suck. It's the truth. And sometimes there's just nothing. You can have all these different things that are given to you. You know, if you explore everything, the art classes, the, you know, doing the one-on-ones, everything. There's still going to be a time. Like, I think we just watched a video where there was like a military, you know, people in the water, and they had to stay there until dawn, and it's like freezing cold. And they're waiting for that dawn, and sometimes I feel like it is just waiting for the dawn, but once it gets there, man, that's sweeter. Like, I feel like going through some real, I've been thrown, I keep getting thrown curveballs lately, and it's almost like it's a test from the universe, and it's like, dude, I got it. I got that one. All right, like, it feels amazing. Like, I'm doing this. And, you know, honestly, like, as far as hating myself, I think I hated myself because I didn't know myself. I didn't know who I was, like, and I think, you know, I was told all my life to not like show emotion, so I think I was stoic, but I wondered why I had all this stuff underneath that I just couldn't show. So I hated that, and then I also had kind of this perfection thing, you know, where it was like I'm trying to achieve this unattainable thing, and like then of course, you know, I've got this little one here, and I think that adds a stigma, because then you're like, oh my God, I'm trying to obtain to something, I can't show emotion. And I think that was where I had such a hard time. So like, this place is so beautiful. Like, you come in here and you just realize, like, wow, like it's you can be, once you start breaking down everything, it's like you start to see so much in yourself that you never saw before, and maybe you rediscover it, and it's like the most beautiful thing. It's like I kind of laugh because, you know, I'm doing this paint thing with my son's helmet, and I'm like, okay, the best thing came out of it because it's kind of a beautiful mess. It's like how we are, you know, but it's beautiful. And I think it's in the imperfections, or maybe some of the things I thought were flaws, or sometimes when I thought there were failures, I would just get so mad at myself if I didn't do something right with him, if he had a seizure, everything was like, that was why I would self-medicate on those things. And it's like those, like what I thought were mistakes even weren't really mistakes. It's like growth, even what I thought was failure. So I think it's like just be comfortable even when you're vulnerable, like in this process, because you learn so much. And sometimes what you might have hated in yourself is what you really truly come to love and embrace.
Wow.
I think that's truly important.
That's good.
With that, I pass.
Charlie?
Hey, this weird white dude I know, he wrote this book. It's pretty inspiring. You mind if I read a couple paragraphs? Go ahead. Rashad inspired me to go to this. I just read it like the other day. And anyway, let me be very clear. Suicide is never the answer to life's struggles. I know how convincing and overpowering these thoughts can sometimes seem. I know that sometimes they can be terrifying, and other times they can seem very reasonable and logical, which is probably even more terrifying. The majority of people who unsuccessfully attempt suicide do not die from another attempt. Many report being overjoyed that they did not succeed. Life is constantly changing, and whatever situation is overwhelming you right now will change too. This is often hard to keep in mind. I can assure you this is not true. No matter what you are feeling or how you, even better, you've got a machine that can, well, if not change the weather, at least heavily influence it. You don't have to wait tirelessly for that sunny day. So that's pretty cool because that's gave me the hope that I needed to not put no dope in this shit and just keep putting my best foot forward, man.
Wow. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. You know, so let me say one thing before we go that there's so many people that have that fear of, you know, what like coming back. It's like when you thank us, which is nice, I'm like, thank yourself for coming in here. No, listen, there should be nobody in here that is condemning anybody, because I'm sure there's not anybody in here who hasn't done some shit they wish they didn't have. All of us, you know, all of us have done things that it's like, oh God, I shouldn't have done that, or I'm sorry I did that. But never anybody who does whatever they do is going to be ostracized for coming back in here and asking for help again. In fact, I think from our side of the street, you bring out more empathy and compassion for the person that's coming back in, and it should bring more gratitude for what you currently have for someone who's already in here. Anything other than that, and we've got a problem. None of that, oh my God, I can't believe he drank again. Yeah, we don't do that. It's, how are you? I'm glad you're okay. What do you need? Don't do it again or I'll spank you. That kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's good. Charmony, thanks for reading that. That was good. Shanahan's up? Where's he at? Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I love everything that was just shared. I can relate to it all so much what he was talking about. I'm glad Charmony read that.
Yes.
Right. I've been in those thoughts. I know that feeling of coming back, but I also know that feeling of those thoughts and extended sobriety and like living in those thoughts and those feelings and letting it get to that point where you feel like there's no other way out, but to end it and feeling like, you know, people who count on you and care about you will be better off without you. You know, feeling like my daughter would be better off without me, that's a scary thought. And I almost acted on that thought. And the first time that I had her after that, like that's what Charmony ended with, was that feeling of realizing how overjoyed I was that it didn't work out. And then I got to hold my little girl again. And then I get to work on myself and figure out why that's still happening even in my sobriety. And there's nothing like that. That's all I got.
That's good. Great meeting tonight. Awesome meeting tonight. Here's our closing poll.
I'm Byron from Five Center. I walk down the street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in, I am lost, I am hopeless. It isn't my fault, it takes forever to find a way out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it, I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there, I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open, I know where I am. It is my fault, I get out immediately. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it, I walk down another street. Thanks for coming, everyone!